Alright, so it's a nighttime video. I mean, it's still a little bit late out, but I decided just to, it's not that much late. It's not that late out, honestly. I think by the time I finish the video, it would be dark. So library books, and they all were in. The first cut that I would have uploaded wasn't, but I got the last two books, thankfully. Those two books that hadn't come in when I went to the library, but I just had someone else grab them on the way home, so I was like, there you go. There was one that didn't come in like at all this week, and that is Spider-Gwen. And I don't know if I even like. I kind of hope it doesn't come in at all. Not at all, obviously, but like it's one of those. I don't know. It's kind of weird it didn't come in because I swear to God it comes from. I swear to God, I'm almost positive it comes from a library that it should have come in today. It wasn't like that very far away library that's like. I swear to God, it's an hour and a half away, and I have to wait 2 weeks for that book to come in sometimes. Because even with the dumb system, the dumb interlibrary loan system, that's really annoying. Um, Even they are like a week and a half at most. But so those who don't know, there's two interlibrary loan systems. One is fantastic. One is it's a newer system. It works fantastic. They never say, rarely do they say, oh, we don't have this book, even though we say we have this book. The only time it happens because I lost the book. And honestly, one of them was, I think, kind of our fault because it was one of those they said, I think it was a library said, we don't have it. Are you sure you returned it? I did, and it was just one of those things. And I don't think they ever got a replacement because no one ever read that book. It was Superman Action Comics Volume 3 by Grant Morrison. Just when I checked it out, I didn't want to pretty much be binge reading that like as if it was an omnibus. I thought I'd be able to finish the first two in time. I wasn't, and then I returned it because I wasn't able to finish it by then. That was the first time I read it. I didn't really like the Grant Morrison, but I like it now. I reread it. But anyways, let's get on with it. But yeah, one's a really annoying system, and the other system is basically like a 50-50 chance to get the book. Very irritating. But anyways, let's get on with it. First is my copy of V for Vendetta. This is one I read the comic, now I'm going to watch the movie. I'll probably watch this one either tonight, no, I'll watch it tomorrow. It's a better idea to watch it tomorrow. And looks like this one is in pretty good condition. I can check, because it's one of those things, I do the library test, where, and then just the same with the library movies. If it feels old, like almost dusty, I know that it's probably not going to work on my finicky ass DVD player. And honestly, I haven't been checking out older movies from my library for a while now, so I haven't really had that chance at all. Oh yeah, immaculate. Like one minor little scratch. Yeah, it should work fine. And the 2-disc special edition. Kind of miss DVDs. Like the way back in the day when like a two-disc special edition or widescreen versus full screen. I know it's the same with Blu-rays and 4Ks. I know I'm the guy who gets comics rather than movies, but I don't know. And I did not have a chance to finish Turning Red, so I'll be watching that very soon. I was going to try, because I thought originally to get those last two books, I was going to go on Saturday before my haircut, but I don't need to do that now, so it'll be next week. It's not due to the 27th anyways. Usually I only get 1 week for movies, and I got 2. Actually 3. Was it 3? Was it 3? Nope, 2. No? Yes. Because I'm going by when my nephew comes, and that's every other... comes to our house. It's every other weekend. And don't make that joke, because he is 6 years old. 8 years old. So you feel good about making the come joke? Oh, he said come and say home. And this is the 4 film favorites. I don't know why they picked the ones they picked, but I'm watching half of these. Creepshow and Dolores Claiborne. Maybe I'll get around to watching Dreamcatcher and Cat's Eye, but I don't know. It's funny that only one of these is PG-13. Again, they really should do for these 4 film favorites. They can't anymore. I don't think they make these anymore. Is do G, PG, PG-13, and R. Like have all the ratings. You do 5 film favorites. You can do NC-17. Oh, by the way, the other 4 film favorite one I got had Rain Man, which I really enjoyed. That was really good. So I'll talk about those briefly. But Rain Man had a lot of those scenes that I was like, oh, they're gonna do this, aren't they? This cliche, and they avoided it. And I was like, already gets a huge pass from me. But I really enjoyed it. It's a really good story. I like those kinds of stories and told it in a way that felt genuine and realistic and deserved all four Oscars it received. Then there was Moonstruck, which I thought was okay. I did like that Nicolas Cage was in it. He definitely stole the show. Then I watched, and there was When Harry Met Sally, and I think I need to watch that one again. I do actually own the movie. It was just, might as well get these four because I wanted to watch the other movies. Like, screw it. It's mostly for Rain Man, which I'm glad the one I was waiting on for that movie, for that 4 film favorites, was the best one. But I need to rewatch it with a, with a different, with different expectations. But I thought it was just okay. I liked what it was going for. Again, like with Rain Man, like I gave a lot of pass, a lot of what did I say before? Free pass? I don't know, but I gave a lot of credit. There it is. That's a word to use. Also, I gave a lot of credit to what it was trying to be different. It was trying to be, like not just be your average romance, trying to do something different. And then Princess Bride I'd watched before, and I'm just gonna go by what I said the first time. I really enjoyed it. I think the second time I just wasn't in the mood to watch a movie, but I kind of felt obligated to. I guess I don't even know. I don't even know if that was the reason or why, but that was what happened there, and I still like that. I still think it's a good movie. I think it's a fantastic 80s flick. Okay, so now on to the movie, books. I always like to do these by this is the order I go in. The first, usually 4. I don't like doing any more than 4, but usually the first 4 are called OGNs. So this is all in one. That's how it was released originally. It wasn't like, oh, Zatanna 1 through 6 released in this trade. No, it was originally called an original graphic novel, and hence the name, original graphic novel. So these I usually read all in one sitting. So this is Zatanna, the Jewel of Gravesend. Now this is the DC Ink imprint, and I really have enjoyed enough these books. None of them have been groundbreaking. I can probably at most name on one hand the ones that I thought were outstanding, and even those are just outstanding in the sense of a DC Ink graphic novel. So they're usually passable. They're like I wouldn't say junk food, but they're kind of like, I'll check them out, but only if my library has them, or only if I can interloan them. I'm not buying them myself, not even on sale. But I never, the only ones I've absolutely hated, and I mean actually hated, where it was Shadow the Batgirl. That I just thought was kind of underwhelming. But the ones that usually you'll get something really stupid and so bad it's good, like Gotham High and I Am Not Starfire, that are just there's just guilty pleasures of mine. So bad they're good. I do want to. I gotta check those out again next time. And I don't even recognize the author here, so I can't say what I'll be in for. I don't know a whole lot about Zatanna either, so that's good. Although, is it? So this next one, if you saw my comic haul when I went over Revolvers and Saint Mercy, no, actually a whole bunch of others. No, it wasn't. It was a time when there were only 3 books. But that was the second part, and then just my complete March haul. You will know that I showed off amongst other books, Revolvers and Saint Mercy, both by John Sir Blatton. And I had said the main reason why I had bought Revolvers and then Saint Mercy, I found out, same author wrote Revolvers, wrote Saint Mercy, and from Image Comics, okay, get that too, along with it, was because the comic was called Revolvers. And there's a Vertigo comic by Matt Kindt, and I got a Matt Kindt book that month too, so it's kind of a funny to also get, to interloan Revolver by Matt Kindt. It's kind of funny. This is from Vertigo, not Image, by the way. Yeah, to reiterate in case you guys, I got sidetracked, but there was a comic from Image Comics written by John Sir Blatton called Revolvers. I got that the same month, last month, as I got Cosmic Detective, an Image comic by Matt Kindt. So I was like, okay, let's get Revolver by Matt Kindt. Kind of an all-in-one, not all-in-one, but a funny, I guess you'd say. And I also I'd always want to check this one out too. And ironically enough, so the co-author of Cosmic Detective is Jeff Lemire, and ironically enough, he has a little blurb on the back of this book. Found that kind of funny. Honestly, the artwork reminds me a lot of Jeff Lemire. And I still say that Cosmic Detective. I actually have read that book. I read it last time. Yes. Yes. No. No, it's time before that. Recently, I read Cosmic Detective by Matt Kindt and Jeff Lemire, but I think it's more of a Matt Kindt book, and that's coming from someone who, like, I see, because I've read some of his Berserker, I see some of that writing style in Cosmic Detective. Now, it could be more of a Jeff Lemire book, but I myself say more Matt Kindt, because I've not read enough Jeff Lemire, or honestly, enough Matt Kindt to really say, but, like, to say, like, quote me on this, but my headcanon is that it's more Matt Kindt. But that was co-written by Jeff Lemire, too. Oh, and, no, yeah, mention what you want to mention. Alright. So next one, because I got the Creepshow movie, I also wanted the Creepshow comic, the original comic by Stephen King. It is kind of funny that it's now owned, now owned by Image Comics. But Stephen King's Creepshow. So one seems to be pretty quick, too. I would say like 64 pages. Yeah. Under 100 pages. And this next one is kind of unfortunate, because the reason why I finally decided to get this book. I had known this book existed a while ago, but I'm not the biggest fan of the writing style of this author. But I wanted to commemorate his life, because this writer recently died. It was April 1st. And no, it was not a fucked up April Fool's joke. He is actually gone. And that is Hip Hop Family Tree by Ed Piskor. I'm going away from the 20th to 27th. And because I won't be at the house, I want to make sure I get a video in. And the only way I can make sure that happens, like, without saying, oh, I'll go to the comic book store while I'm away. No, because I don't know if there is comic stores in the area I'll be staying in. I want to do I want to do a solo review for Hip Hop Family Tree, not only to commemorate not only to commemorate Ed Piskor's work, but his life, and to just, it's my first Ed Piskor book too that I read all the way through. So I wanted to do this, and I'm glad I'm doing this too and making it its own solo review. Now, I will briefly review it when I'm going over all the books, just in case some of you guys don't watch that video, but you watch the reviews for all the other comics, or you just kind of want a quick review of it, because I don't know how long that video will be. But I wanted to do that. And the reason why I said I'm not the biggest fan of his writing style is because he seems to be a big fan of the Silver Age, where there's a lot of dialogue. I'd almost say Golden Age. I'm going to have to get used to it, though. And I will. I'll definitely give it its fair share. They have all three of these. I think I'm going to push myself to read all three. Even if I don't like this one, I'm going to push myself to read all three. But I did want to do that, because it's a very, very, very unfortunate story that is absolutely disgusting and deplorable that these people honestly will get away with these crimes too. For those of you who don't know, and I'm not going to get into it too much, look it up, I'd say. It was just and it's one of those things where we can say for certainty that he was murdered. Not, he was a suicide, but people led to its suicide, and it was very unfortunate, and these people are not committing, they're not doing anything about it. They're just kind of like saying, hey, tough shit, honestly. That's a terrible thing to say. And it's Alex de Campi is the main bitch to be that was going after Ed Piskor for nothing. He already apologized for a mistake that even the person involved that he was involved with said that he was fine, and they were on good terms now. But anyways, I'm not a drama channel, so I'm gonna continue on. And Batman by Tom King. Now this is another thing. I know I get comics from people who aren't the best online and say terrible shit online. I separate the art from the artist. And it's going to be very hard to do that for Alex de Campi if I ever get any of her work, which I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon. But there are other people that were mentioned in his suicide note that, I'm sure I've bought stuff from them or will buy stuff from them in the future. So just know that I'm separating the art from the artist. This month, I'm going to try my best to get stuff that I've been putting off for a long time that are from actual good people who want to see comics succeed and don't bully people online. But time will tell if I can go through with that. I'm going to try my best to, though. Like, really try my best to do that. Batman by Tom King. Now, this is volume 7, and I believe this is where I left off. I was done after that, and they had the 8th volume wasn't available. I didn't bother putting it in again. So, but they do have it on the good system. They have all of his run. So, and Batman Catwoman. So I will be able to finish this once and for all, and I can finally say with certainty how I actually feel about his run. So far, I think if you ignore all the missteps he takes with all the like insults he makes to Batman's lineage, if you think of it as an Elseworlds Batman, it's good enough. You know, it's enjoyable enough. If a comic keeps me interested throughout and I'm hardly ever bored, I will give it a lot more praise no matter what. Regardless, I'm going to say. Then we have Sandman Volume 4 by Neil Gaiman. I will probably just read all this. I'll probably the entire series again, and then I'll read a sequel series. I will probably stomach getting through Volume 6. Volume 6 is the one I didn't like, because Sandman, if you want to know what I like best about Sandman, it's the stuff that's like with Dream and Sire and their interactions with the real world. The Barbie stuff I really liked when I think it was Barbie. Her name was Barbie, they call her Barbie. I think she's with Ken. That was kind of funny. But the one that I really like, I think she had broken up with Ken, I believe. But there was something, I remember that. It's not this volume, I think it's the next volume. And I'll say what it is when I review it, obviously, too. But flipping through this, I don't think it was this one. And I just don't like the stuff when it takes place like way back in the past, because Neil Gaiman, you could argue, is the modern day Shakespeare, and when he goes back to Shakespeare times, he usually tries to make it just as interesting as it is reading a Shakespeare reading a Shakespeare book. You know, apologies to all English majors that are watching this video, but I'm not a huge fan of Sandman. I'm not a huge fan of Shakespeare. I'm not the biggest fan of Sandman, but Sandman they love him like a lot more than Shakespeare. And I have come around to appreciate Sandman a lot more than I did in the past. I think I was a lot harsher in the past than I am now. So we got another book that I got this month. What was I on? I was on, like, I guess I was on Comic Halls. Another book that didn't come in today until later on today, is Hellboy, The Chained Coffin, and Others. Now, this was one they already had to return. I was supposed to get this last time, but the copy that the librarian received was in terrible condition. She didn't even check it out to me. She's like, I immediately brought it back to the library. It was falling apart, like, basically in her hands, kind of thing. And I was like, alright, whatever, it's Hellboy. And, you know, the past 2 volumes have been kind of slow, so I'm fine with taking a break. But this is Hellboy, Chained Coffin, and Others. Volume 3, I believe. Put this back in there. Yeah, I'm glad I did that because it showed the library that I got it from. So, and it's a bookmark too, so I might just use that for them. Because I'm going to use that bookmark. There's no reason to. Then we have Volume 4 of 5 of Y the Last Man. Really like coming back to. So these are all rebates, by the way. The first, starting with Batman and ending with. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and ending with. So the first 8 are going to be all rereads. Night Witches by Garth Ennis. I also checked out his other one. But I didn't like this one as much, but his other kind of like war comic, String Bags. The first time I read this, I've really enjoyed Night Witches. Like that's coming from someone who is not a fan of war comics. So I'm sure someone that is super into this, especially into this era. I believe it was a World War II. So World War II buffs probably like, eat this up like it's a 5-course meal, and I ate it up like it was a 3-course meal. I would almost say 5-course meal. This was like so damn good. Probably my second favorite, or at least top 5 favorite Garth Ennis comics. Number 1 will always be Preacher. Yeah, this is really damn good. first time I read it. I'm glad I'm reading it again. But this one, I want to give a second chance. So it kind of is a yin for every yang. So the reason why I reread books is because sometimes, like with sometimes like with Night Witches and Preacher, I really enjoy it and want to read it again. And of course, like with Night Witches and Preacher, sometimes I'll forget certain parts. I'm like, you know what, let's reread it again, refresh the memory. And then there are some books like String Bags I didn't like the first time I read it. I want to give it a second chance. Why the Last Man was damn so far all these are damn good. And sometimes like with Batman, I want to see if they have, and they do, the rest of that run so I can finally finish it. Sandman was kind of, I would say in the middle. Hellboy I want to reread because it's really damn good. Why the Last Man I want to reread because it's really damn good. And then you know about Night Witches and String Bags. Walking Dead, I mean, if you've been watching my reviews of this series, you will know I'm rereading this because it's fucking phenomenal. So damn good. And also, it's been so damn long since I've read this, but it may as well be my first time reading Walking Dead because there's so much I don't remember. Yeah, some of it I'll read, like the ending to Volume 12, like Book 12, like Book 12's, the ending to that book, and ending to Book 12 was a cliffhanger. Like a super cliffhanger. I was like, oh, that's right too. I remember that happened, but I don't remember what happened next. So it was kind of like it's kind of like reading the first time because I can't really remember. I do remember how the entire series ends though, so there was at least that. I think that was why for the longest time I didn't jump back into the series. I remember the stuff with Negan, most of it, but then when I got Outcast back in October, as long as it's been, I believe, I wanted to jump back into the series and read it again. There's a lot. It's almost 200 issues, and 15, well, it's going to be 13 hardcovers, and then I can try and get the 14th one, but I'll be getting, next time I'll be most likely getting the compendium. I wanted to get all 16 or 17 hardcovers, thinking that the Good System had them. They don't, unfortunately, so I'll have to spike the bullet and get the compendium afterwards. The only library that seems to have the hardcovers of the next, at least hardcover volume 14, is a school library, and that's maybe I'll put it in because actually it's a shitty system too. The shitty system, I put those books in earlier because it took longer to come in, and maybe I'll do that. Yeah. So I would say on average it actually is 2 weeks because I forgot that I put in those books early because of the fact that they took a little while to come in on the shitty system. And again, I'm saying shitty system because of the fact that 50/50 chance of get the book you put in, they said they had, technically. And then sometimes it's annoying because you'll look up a book you saw before, and you have to look at it by the ISBN. You can't do something like Sin City, That Yellow Bastard, written by Frank Miller. No, you're not gonna get that. You still won't get it. You gotta do the ISBN, and then you'll get it. That's what I had to do for the Punisher War Journal, the Punisher book by War Machine. That's why I was thinking War. Punisher War Machine, and to put that in by ISBN. It was Matthew Rosenberg. I thought was phenomenal, so I'm glad I finally got to read it. Because I remember seeing it a long time ago, and I couldn't find it no matter what, and I had to put the ISBN to find it. It's crazy. Again, it's a shitty system. It's like an old system. I swear to God, they haven't updated. Maybe they can't update it. Maybe they can't update to the point where it will be like their new system. But anyways, Sin City, and this is the last reread. Sin City, That Yellow Bastard. Have been loving this series so damn much. And yet again, it's like Walking Dead. It's been a little while, not too long. It's been about a year, if that. So it was a refresher, and I just like it so much, I'm gonna reread it. Like so the ones that I say, I reread it, and when I read it again, it's like it so much. Refresher. That's usually because it's 6 months. I would say on average, every 6 months, I'll check out Preacher yet again and Transmetropolitan yet again, and part of that reason is to refresh my memory, and part of it is I like it so much. I call it the 6-month rule. If your book is that the comic that I read is that damn good, and it goes on a 6-month rule, that means it's like my seal of approval, like confirmed, like certified fresh, if you will. So because I've been checking out Lumberjanes, there was also another series called Giant Days. It's very similar to Lumberjanes, has the same feel. I always remembered, like, when before I read it, when I thought of Lumberjanes, I'd also always think of Giant Days. Like those were basically, even though I knew there were two separate books, for anything, I thought you could have told me the same author and I would have believed you. Because they felt very similar. They kind of had that same similar feel to it. They're different authors, though. But last time they didn't have Giant Days, and I wanted to check out, so I was like, oh yeah, Giant Days, I should finally check this book out. They didn't have it last time I went. They did this time, Volume 1. And it was when they are both by Boombox. They had, I had read this one before. I don't think I finished it, though. I read the first issue, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. That's all. That's all, folks. But I am willing to give it a second chance. This was the one I'm thinking about, right? I'll know because it was a very, as the kids say, sus moment. Yep. I think. There's a very, as the kids say, sus moment in this book. That was like, they're going for that in a kid's book. They technically weren't. I just forgot this was the one. They're listening to ASMR. And it was like they're looking to this. Yep, it is. Because they, I'll show you what it is. Guess what guess it looks like they're watching. Haha, very funny. And I was like, they're going for that in a kid's book? Because it's Boombox. Technically, it's for kids. Like, I would say 10 up. Or like 8 to 10 years old. So again, but still, kids' book. Kids are, the new generation knows what porn is when they turn 5, most of them. Okay, it wouldn't surprise me because of how screwed this generation is. Screwed and screwed up. But still, would surprise me. And no, it was they listened to ASMR. Because some people to get that kind of same, not same reaction, but that same kind of like ecstasy feeling from watching ASMR. Not the same exactly. They're not splooching about ASMR, but some of them are just like it sounds really good to them and like it's relaxing and everything like that. It's like soothing and like ecstasy. I think is the best word to use to describe it, but it's probably not. In Lumberjanes volume whatever 7. Hopefully, so it's been very mixed. Overall, for the past few volumes of Lumberjanes, it's not bad, but it's just mixed. Like sometimes it'll be good, sometimes like how I remember it, but it hasn't been like that really, really good that has been the first 2 volumes. I think the first 2 volumes, like, it deserves its Eisner win. And so far, these past few volumes have been like, there's other books that were better. Gwenpool, Volume 4. This is the final volume in Christopher Hastings' run. And then we get to the Leah Williamson reboot everyone hated. And I'm talking to everybody. And I'll be checking it out and seeing how bad it is. I heard like at least the first issue was what people wanted. Your boy Zach, I believe, gave it praise. He could come at being sarcastic, but it didn't seem like he was. But he didn't seem sarcastic. But we'll see when we get to it. And also, because I said I'm going away next week, it might, guys, yeah, next week, and I'll come back next week. I usually, no, it's duh. Yeah, it will be a while. I was thinking like I was next week. I was going, wait, no, I'm going away next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the following Saturday. So yeah, that will be the week I usually go to the library, and I'll be away. So it will be a little while. Only go a week at most, or at the very least, only an extra week until you get the next few books I'll be checking out. Now on to, so starting with Gwenpool, we are starting with I always think Lumberjanes is a reread for whatever reason. I think it's because I am still on volume 1. No, starting with Giant Days, we're on rereads. I said that already. Invincible Iron Man by Matt Fraction. This was one that I was going to get because I think I put it in prematurely. It was when I was going to originally get Satellite Sam back in November, but I didn't end up getting it because it was so close to Christmas. And I was like, you know what? I should probably save up my last few weeks of allowance. I can afford to get everyone Christmas gifts, and I'm not like digging into my funds either, just in case I go to the mall just in case. As a Christmas miracle, or just in case, as a Christmas miracle, I go to the mall yet again, or anything like that. I want to have money saved up after I buy people Christmas gifts and have enough money and all that shit. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get less books in November, and I did, and I just sacrificed Satellite Sam. So I prematurely checked out Iron Man. I put it back in, and I may have mentioned that. I don't know, but I almost like I've read the first. And actually, I did read the first issue a while back. I thought it was okay, but that was a while ago, so I want to give it a second chance. But yes, Iron Man by Matt Fraction. I don't know why I mentioned that, but Satellite Sam, that was completely unnecessary. How long have I been going for? I feel like it's been going for a long time, 30 minutes. The Mighty Captain Marvel, Volume 1. Oh, this is Margaret Stohl. I was like, well, what's gonna mention? There was like a complete brain aneurysm. Like I was almost forgot where I was almost. Not almost. Like you know what I'm saying. Like almost, like I forgot where I was almost. But this is Margaret Stohl's run, and I believe this is in between. It's after Kelly Sue DeConnick's run, but before Thompson's run, Kelly Thompson's run. So it's the in between of the Kelly runs on Captain Marvel. And I've liked the Captain Marvel thus far. Yeah, I've liked Kelly Sue DeConnick's run, and I liked a few orphaned issues I've read from Thompson's run. I was the end, and then I believe not the life of it. It's also Margaret Stohl. I actually like that one. But what was the other one? It was called. It was like a little. That was Jody Houser. Never mind. I know I shouldn't, but I do like Jody Houser's writing. And honestly, like you guys need to know, I'm extremely lenient when it comes to modern comics. There are certain modern comics that I like and not a whole lot of other people like. For example, Joe Hill's Reign, the graphic novel adaptation. It's my opinion, and I can, if I find out that there's something that like really bad that David M. Booher does, I will mention it when I review Reign. But I don't look into it, and the only way that I know that they've done something bad is if I find it out through someone like your boy Zach. And I don't go looking for trouble, basically. It's the best way to describe the way I read comics. I'm not going to let something someone did ruin my enjoyment of what they've written. Again, separating the art from the artist. It's very hard to do. I do not do it. The only exception is Ta-Nehisi Coates. And probably now, Alex Acampi. Batman, again, it's pretty easy to do that, though. Batman 66. This is a Jeff Parker run on the graphic novel adaptations of the Batman 66 comics. I have the second volume, and I might just pretend I'm holding up two. I might just bring the second volume with me on vacation. At least I'll be reading volume 2 next time I show off books. At the very least. Or most. I think you're supposed to say most. This is a reread, damn it. Ah, shit. I was doing so good, too. My brain doesn't work. Shit. So this is me confusing. Okay, so this is the reread, Black Hammer Justice League. I'm so dumb. I don't know why my brain does that. And Ocean Orbiter is a reread. What is with my brain today? Or right now? I'm not doing another cut. Okay, so... You know what? Pretend I didn't show... Alright. So, Black Hammer Justice League and Ocean Orbiter are two rereads. My brain didn't work on it. They were... the first 10. The first 10 were rereads. I hate that so much. Alright, so, we go back to... Yeah, no, it's that. Change this one, that one. Alright. What? That's it? Huh. Alright. And last but not least, Department H by Matt Kindt. I want to check out... Because I knew Revolver was an OGN, or at least I double-checked it was an OGN, I want to check out something that was, at least by issue. And there was an omnibus of this, and I was like, oh, crap, that means there's at least 3 volumes of Department H, or 4, because that's how Dark Horses are omnibuses. But it wasn't, it's just the first 2, of all 2 volumes of this mini-series. If it even is a mini-series. Yeah, I hate that. It feels unorganized, and this video has already been going on for 30 minutes, and I want to actually get down to reading some books, because I've only read like what 2 today, so, and I've been library books like I'm supposed to be reading, so that's it. Yeah, 34 minutes. But next video, well, next week. It's gonna be next week. Uh-oh. Maybe if I finish yeah, I guess I want to get, if I want to get Gwen, like it's better Gwen again. Yeah. Alright, that's it.